Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Detroit. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Kenji Egashira, and we are just about underway here in round number 3 of Team Sealed. And you can see our teams here: Tom Martell, Alexander Haynes, Paul Cheon playing against Matthias on Andrew Ellenbogen and Jason Scows.
Well done.
That's how I'm told that's pronounced. I like that name. Keeps you on your toes. And we're going to start things off here on our A match. This is our table A. This is Tom Martell versus Matthias Hunt. Now, Tom Martell, of course, PT champion, GP champion, has one of the best finishes over a 3-year span on the Pro Tour ever. He's playing up against Matthias Hunt, who, of course, does commentary for Star City Games. You might recognize him. He's the guy with the hat. That's him.
His signature.
His signature hat, and he's off to a very nice start, though. I will say that Tom Martell has found the perfect foil to Gearcrafter into Gearcrafter, although I will note here that Matthias has missed his 4th land drop, Kenji. And it is this Aven that looks like it's ready to battle here. Stalwart Aven rumbling. Even though it's holding off 4 creatures, you got to figure the follow-up from Martell is pretty strong here.
Yeah, Aven just one of the best white commons in my opinion. Just
how about another one?
2's better.
Look, if it worked before. Now, this is a turn where Matthias Hunt can really turn the tables if he's able to kill the Aven, but Tom Martell very ominously has left up 1 Plains, Kenji. Shrouding Mist in the house.
And so if Matthias goes for anything crazy, Tom can just kind of negate it. Especially
considering that Matthias is in red, which would hurt. And the other thing to remember about Enshrouding Mist is that it does untap the creature if it's Renown, and Martell, with a Stalwart Aven out, has a Renown creature. It does look like Matthias is going to be able to get in for 2 points of damage here thanks to the Scout.
It looks like he's about to attack with everything.
Don't do that. Wow, he's rumbling. Now, he's representing Might of the Masses on his side, Kenji.
Yes.
So how does this play out if Tom has... Okay, I spoke too soon. Here we go. Enshrouding Mist. He does not use it on his other Stalwart Aven, though.
Looks like Tom just said that he had blocked something, and then Matthias said he was going to pump the one, that was blocked.
Okay, I see. So Might of the Masses hit whatever was blocked.
Yes.
And, of course, that makes it survive. That's all it did there, though. It didn't get him in for extra damage, and his Stalwart Aven's also going to survive. So both of the possible combat tricks in that sequence showed up.
Yep, but Matthias still got in for an extra, few points of damage, so...
So Martell's down to 16 with a pair of Stalwart Avens. And what else does Martell have here? A Charging Griffin. So the Flyers are in full effect, but Martell has pumped the brakes. He's recognized that he's got a superior board state at the moment, that the Griffin's not going to do a great job blocking the Gearcrafters, and he's going to keep the Avens back here.
Yeah, this is a great turn for Matthias to do something since Tom doesn't have his shields open. He's completely tapped out. Although Matthias still missing that land. Looks like. But he wishes he had another Might of the Masses here. Might of the Masses is great with those Gearcrafters.
No kidding. It's good with Dwynen's Elite as well, though in this case Matthias does not control an elf, so he's just going to get a 2/2 for 2. Pass a turn back over to Martell, who looks fully stable here on board, though he is having to keep his creatures back currently to stop the onslaught from Matthias Hunt, who, like you mentioned, Kenji, He's missed his land drop, 2 or 3 times now, but it hasn't really slowed him down. Look at that board state.
The thing is, all of his creatures, just get completely negated by those 2 Stalwart Avens, and Tom continuing, with a Knightly Valor on his Renowned one.
Well, this is going to be savage.
In the red zone they go.
7 damage?
Yeah, and I don't think Matthias can reasonably block here. I think he just takes it and hopes he can go a little bit wider, but that's so hard to do with Knightly Valor.
Yeah, Knightly Valor, of course, giving Martell that 2/2 Vigilance Knight, and then also giving the Aven itself Vigilance, so it effectively creates 2 blockers that turn, one of them which can even attack right now as well. So tough spot here for Hunt, and looks like he's agreed with you, Kenji. He's going to take the 7. And try to hit a land here. I think he missed again, Kenji. This is, he was able to, thanks to a solid curve there, kind of withstand the woes of light mana, but it won't last forever.
Yeah, I saw a lightning javelin in Matthias's hand, and if he had that chance to play a land and just kill one of the other Avens. Would have been really nice for him.
A lot of birds here for Tom Martell.
Not too many things Matthias can do for 3 mana. I mean, again, he could have more Might of the Masses, but I think he would have gone a little bit more aggressive if that were the case.
Okay. Especially given his mana situation.
Yeah.
Wants to kind of push his advantage when he had it, and he stopped. So Martell looks like he's okay to trade off his Knight token with one of the Gear Crafters if he wants to attack with that. No, he's not going to. So just both flyers are going to hit the red zone here.
And at some point, Matthias is going to need to block with these Thopters. This is just way too much damage.
Yeah, he's going to cash one of them in to prevent 4 damage. But the Charging Griffin's still going to hit and drop Matthias Hunt down to 9. And there's another one. So the hits keep coming here from Martell. And Matthias, you got to figure if he doesn't hit a land here, all right, well, he did. Yeah, he's got Sky Snare Spider in his hand. That could do a great job of helping him stabilize. But he's miles away. Maybe just javelin something, hope to scry a land here.
Even if he javelins one of the Charging Griffins that Tom played, you know, he's still going to have to make the same block next turn with his last Thopter.
And then take 3?
Yeah, and then
or 4?
Tom's just going to finish it out. If we look at the standings at top, Alexander Haynes already a game over Andrew Ellenbogen.
That was quick. Yep, Cheon and Jason are in game 1 here.
And he indeed is going to go with the Lightning Javelin on that Charging Griffin. This buys him time, and he also gets to scry, but
digging for those lands.
Like you mentioned, the Sky Snare Spider in his hand is still going to be down, you know, earliest in 2 turns.
That's right. All right, well, he's going to scry whatever that was to the bottom. I'm going to assume non-land spell, or non-land card, I should say. And right now, Tom Martell is doing, well, a somewhat sportsmanlike thing. He's going to show him Wild Instincts and say, yeah, I can just kill you. I'm going to fight your Thopter. I'm going to battle with all my flyers, and that's lethal. So Tom Martell picks up game 1 here. So 2 to the good for the team on the right here. Haynes and Martell pick up quick game 1s, and it looks like Cheon is still in rumble mode, though. That was a Chandra's Ignition I just saw go in the graveyard. I don't know what it did.
It was on a Freaka's Disciple.
Why don't we actually go down to C here? This is the match nearest to us. Jason Scows versus Paul Cheon, and I have a feeling if we would have come 1 turn earlier, this board would have looked a lot more cluttered than it currently does.
We see a ton of creatures in the graveyard. Again, Chandra's Ignition with a Death Touch creature, Freaka's Disciple, is just going to wipe everything out.
And it did. It left just the Disciple, but Scob Goliath is a nice follow-up here for Jason. It's not going to stop this this Disciple from rumbling, though.
I can definitely outrace it is the thing.
Yeah, it looks like it's a 3-turn clock, though, for Jason, as he can just hit 6, 12, 18. And right now it's only 3 power on the Disciple, so it's a 4-turn clock. And let's just cancel that order. Reef Soul means that even if Cheon decides he wants to turn the corner here and start blocking with it, he can't. He finds Scab Clan Berserker off the top and gets it in for damage right away thanks to its haste. It's going to get Renown, of course. So now whenever Jason casts a non-creature spell, he's going to take some damage.
It's interesting to note that Paul opted to attack with the Disciple instead of leaving it back to, you know, block, because he wanted to go on offense. I think he had the Scab Clan in hand already, so he thought he could race the damage here. But
so he wanted to encourage Jason to attack with his Goliath,
or just sit back.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah. And now the problem is a 6/9 is very hard to deal with in the red-green deck.
And he's even got a blocker here with Eyeblight Assassin. This is Jason's at 7 life. Cheon's at 6.
Well, he's got a Wild Instincts to finish off the Eyeblight Assassin.
Okay. So that's 5 damage.
He has 3 mana untapped.
Oh, no combat
like
trick. You got to figure Jason is like, oh, man, he's got Exquisite Firecraft to finish the job. Now you can see how Cheon had a line to victory there. And he rides that. So, wow, these are this one could be over quick. We might actually get a little more action from our back table there, because Alexander Haynes won his match. Cheon just won his game, so he's up a game. And Martell is just about ready for game 2. We're going to go back to table A there and watch Tom Martell versus Matthias Hunt for the second game, but
it actually looks like Alexander Haynes still playing his. I think they might have added it to the wrong tally. That might have been Paul's game.
You're right, Kenji. All right, so still a good start, 1-1-1, but not quite the same thing as having a match in the books already. Yeah, so this is Alexander Haynes. We'll get our graphic adjusted here.
Alex looks like he has a pretty sweet blue-black deck. Read the Bones, Possess Scab, a lot of zombies. Very Miscreant on Andrew's side of things. That's a card I'm a fan of, a little pet card of mine.
I hate that card.
It's so good.
I think it's terrible.
What if you have like 10 of them, Marshall?
It's still bad. That's the thing I figured out. Because then what happens is you draw more of that stupid card.
They're only 1 mana, and then you have to play like Kithian's Tactics. Good to go. Good to go.
That plan I like. You know, there is actually a deck with that card in it as well that works the Warhorn deck. That I like. I think that is pretty cool.
I don't like Warhorn, though.
But if you had 10 of those, you would play it.
Reluctantly.
You're already playing 10 Very Miscreant. Reluctance has left you behind.
All right.
Now, what about Possess God?
That card's great.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Get back a Fairy Miscreant. No, that's not what we're doing.
It's not just a Gravedigger. You know that.
No, that card's great.
Get back sorceries, enchantments, instants,
and anything in the world. There's like 3 of my favorite cards in the whole set on the battlefield right now. I'm not going to say which ones. But
Fairy Miscreant,
obviously.
Island, and the other island. Is this accurate?
2 different artworks. All right, here comes Possess God, willing to trade for my actual favorite card. This is kind of poetic here. Separatist Void Mage jumps in front. Of course, the Scob is going to be exiled because, well, that's just how it works. Looks like they didn't want people looping those.
Alex replaying his Scab Skin.
Scrap Skin, Drake?
Scrap Skin, sorry.
No worries. Yeah, the Miscreant doing serious work here, Kenji. Doing you proud, buddy.
You know what? He just played a Foundry. He has 2 more 1/1 flyers he can produce.
All right. 3 1/1 flyers. He's in business there.
3 1/1 flyers block a 2/3 pretty well.
Yeah, not bad. I mean,
just saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if Haynes was just like, yeah, whatever. Just jam both creatures in there.
Yeah, Andrew was willing to take his whole turn off just to play the land.
And Andrew is definitely committed to activating that Foundry of the Consoles at some point here. He doesn't have to do it to block if he doesn't want, and he decides not to.
It's very scary just to play or do anything when your opponent has that much mana. In this case, Alex, this much mana, and he's in blue-black. So many tricks that he's representing.
See that Alex has a Read the Bones in hand here, and he's going to play it.
It's the second one.
Oh, yeah, there's already one in the yard. And a Sigilled Starfish. Wow, his deck looks sweet. Bottom here for Haynes. He wants none of it.
I think this is going to put him back up to 7 cards in his hand.
Jeez.
Yeah.
This is late in the game, too. This is not the point where you're supposed to have 7 cards in your hand still.
Well, if we're looking at the cards that he's cast, the Tower Geist, you know, gets him a rebuy. The 2 Read the Bones. The Starfish, potentially. Oh, no.
That poor Fairy Miscreant did not help your cause.
Sometimes it gets assassinated.
Yeah. Dies to Doomblade, is that? All right, so 2 Thopters on end step here for Andrew Ellenbogen, who finds himself really quite behind Haynes here. They are on game 2. But Haynes looks like he's so far ahead.
And Andrew looks like he has a few more lands in his hand. He might have a spell back there, I'm seeing.
No Sentinel of the Eternal. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Swift Reckoning is going to take care of the Drake and clear the way for the 2 1/1s to attack, which is going to even the life totals up at 11 here. But you got to figure that Haynes is in the driver's seat with 6, 7 cards in hand and a 4 power on board as well that gets to start rumbling. This is a 3-turn clock. I mean, Andrew doesn't have a lot of leeway with these 2 Thopters. He attacked pretty quickly, but he just traded 2 damage for 4, and here's another Scrapskin Drake for Haynes. He's just looking to clean up the mess.
And I think Andrew realized, you know, he doesn't have anything. He's got to get a little bit aggressive because he doesn't have to block just yet. He had a little life to play with, which was the nice thing. Another Separatist Void Mage off the top.
Okay.
That's not too bad. That buys him a little time.
Gets him that Drake. Is he getting in? He's getting in.
All right.
Down to 9.
The Void Mage can trade away with the Eyeblight Assassin, which is the nice thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Another Fairy Miscreant.
A little late. This is a brew, though, that Andrew Ellenbogen. What's the over-under a number of Wyverns he's got in his deck? Thunderclap Wyvern, 1.5?
Yeah.
Well, if you go above 1 but below 2.
You know what I mean. Anywhere.
You think it's it's either 1 or 2?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's 2.
Okay.
I think he has 2. Like, that would help explain playing the Fairy Miscreants. You know, he's got some good synergies, it looks like, with his Foundry of the Councils and stuff like that.
Reeve Soul.
Rumble mode, engage. And it looks like Alex is going to keep the tower guys back to hold off basically the whole army here from Ellenbogen. Unless he has a Warhorn.
I think it's more likely that Andrew has like 5 Fairy Miscreants, and he might not have any, Wyverns. Just drawing a pass here. All right. And this has to favor Alex. He has so many cards still in his hand that he wants to play out.
Yeah, this is also a lethal attack if he wants to make it. Force at least 1 chump block. Oh no, another Eyeblight Assassin to take out the Miscreant. Where have we seen this before? And here we go, attack for lethal. Double block your Tower Geist. And I think Alex is like, yeah.
Order 1, 2.
How about go to 1? I've got 3 lethal threats. I don't think there's anything that gets Ellenbogen out of this.
Maybe a Tragic Arrogance.
Yeah, leave him. That wouldn't do it. He would need that and a creature.
Oh, he's at 1 life. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's all the way down to 1. Yep. So that's it. Alexander Haynes wins his match 2-0, this time officially speaking, which leaves Tom Martell and Paul Cheon to win a game.
Between the two of them.
If either of them wins a game, then they're going to sweep here. Let's go back to Tom Martell versus Matthias Hunt, where... Whoa.
Yeah, Matthias has hit his lands this time on the bright side. Granted, Tom has the bigger creatures. And again, we see the Knightly Valor on the Stalwart Haven. It is very powerful. Multiple Timberpack Wolves.
Double Trouble on the ground. In fact, there's even one on the other side.
Is that a Mana Gorger Hydra in Tom's graveyard?
Yeah.
Whoa, that card is nice. Looks like it ate a Ravaging Blaze.
Wow, that does not happen very often. So if Matthias is on the play, Martell goes turn 3 Hydra, Matthias plays land and does it. It doesn't work, right? Oh, that works exactly, right? That's just perfect. Wow, the window does not stay open long on that one. But all right, in the meantime, Yoketox staying back on defense, but the Rock Maulers and the Aven look like they're going to hit the red zone here.
Well, Tom's got a nice little green-white Renown deck here. Again, just so many smaller creatures from Matthias. This game seems to have taken the worst. Matthias' side.
We just haven't seen anything good happen to the team on the left since we've shown up here, right? It's just been thumpings. It's been a tough round for these guys.
Creatures are just getting outclassed, yeah.
Yeah, Martell's just been ahead of the game here. We saw mana issues for Matthias Hunt in game 1. When we jumped in on Cheon, he had exactly what he needed to finish off his opponent down there. And we saw Alexander Haynes with, like, kind of mowing down the Fairy Miscreants and just attacking on the ground.
Helps to have multiple Eyeblight Assassins taking care of them for 2/2 value body.
Yeah.
Tom making some decisions here, thinking about what he's going to do. He has plenty of cards in his hand. You have to assume that the Aven's going to be coming in. I guess the Crowan Sergeant.
All right, why don't we take a look at Paul Cheon down here on the bottom. There's a judge call. on the last match. I think that Matthias is speaking with the judge away from the table. So there won't be any action there for a little bit. So we'll jump down here to see what Cheon and Jason are up to here on table C. Well, you know, generally speaking, I love me a sigiled starfish, but one-on-one against the rock smallers, I'm a little less excited.
Yeah, starfish versus a rhino. I think I know which one's the bigger creature, Marshall.
Right, squash.
Negate the draw for Jason.
So Jason's going to play. You know, I have to think that Jason left that card on top, though, right?
I think he scryed on upkeep, potentially.
Yeah, and didn't bottom it.
Oh, did he top it? I missed that.
No, I don't know. Maybe not. It seems weird to keep a negate in this scenario, but. Here's end step. Activate sigiled starfish. We call it the scryfish.
I think he wants to hit a land. Is that that's Scab Goliath in the back
of
his hand?
Does he have enough creatures? It looks like his graveyard's full, so he's probably got 2 creatures in there. Yeah, he does.
Coldblade.
Double Coldblade. There's also a
Water Courser.
Water Courser. Yeah, exactly. All right, so the big boy.
That card is very large.
6/9 with trample. It is gonna hold back the rock smallers.
Very, very few creatures in the format can rumble with the Scab Goliath.
That's right. And I mean, thinking about it from Paul Cheon's perspective, he is in red-green. Like, what in the heck deals with that card in red-green?
Renowned Outland Colossus. But it would have to make a hit first.
Yeah. Now, one card that would get the job done here is Titanic Growth.
Sure.
Right? Attack, block, Titanic Growth would be great.
Yeah, this is the turn to do it, too, because we know Jason has that negate in his hand. So if he gets to untap, he's going to be feeling really, really good.
Yeah, and the interesting part is I don't think Cheon has Titanic Growth. But what if he attacked anyway? Would Jason be able to take 6 from 12 and go down to 6? Or would he say, I've got the negate in my hand. All I need to do is untap here, and then I can just block with impunity. If he attacks with both, he also could say, okay, fine, I'll double block. You're brute.
Mm-hmm.
Take the 6, attempt to trade off Shambling Ghoul for brute.
But if he does that,
the +4/+4 does not kill the Goliath still in that scenario.
But Jason knows that Paul has Ignition in his deck, so if he just takes a hit for 6, he could be dead second main phase.
That's true.
Paul has a Wild Instincts.
Whoa! Fight it.
Okay, that doesn't yet kill it.
It does not kill it. It makes that thing into an 8/8 with trample and puts 6 damage on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this means if the Goliath were to block the Maulers, it would only soak up 3 of the 8, and he would in fact take 5 damage here.
I like that play.
This is a cool play from Paul Cheon.
And remember, he is up a game, as is Tom Martell, so they only need to win 1 more. I think in this position I might just throw the Ghoul in front of the bus, the Rock Smaller.
And he still takes 6 in that scenario.
Well,
or excuse me, takes 5.
5 trample and then 3 from the Brute.
Yeah. Go down to 4 against the guy with Exquisite Firecraft.
You have 2 creatures on the board already. One of them's a 6/9. You have Negate in hand. I guess Negate doesn't deal with the
not on
Exquisite.
Firecraft. It probably doesn't. I see 2 Might of the Masses in the yard already
and
for Cheon. So this is a tough spot for Jason. Oh, man. Paul Cheon just with the big sweats. I like it. Fight your guy, even though I can't win the fight. Now, you know, the thing to note here, of course, is that the Rock Smaller's got +2/+2, but it has taken 6 damage this turn as well.
So it looks like he is just going to block with the Shambling Ghoul.
So they'll trade.
Take the 8 damage.
Ow. And down to 4.
Yeah, Jason.
So Jason's just decided, all right, well, if you've got Exquisite Firecraft, then hats off to you, sir.
He's got to sweat every single turn from now on. He can't even attack with the Scab Goliath.
Does Cheon have it?
I think that was a Ravaging Blaze in his hand.
Yeah, I think you're right. Which is almost lethal on its own. He needs 1 more land for that to just be lethal. So he's going to play Zendikar's Royal, and that's going to get negated here. I like that. Get that thing out of your hand. It's not going to counter the spell you want to anyway. That said, Ravaging Blaze is really going to ruin his day.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the Zendikar's Royal was a problem for him as well.
Sure, that would just make any draw from Paul live, you know?
Yeah.
And at 4 life, stacking up 2/2s.
Especially when you need 2 creatures to block the Brute.
Exactly. Paul draws another mountain for the turn.
You could just go for it.
I think you should, based on, you know, Jason bottomed the card and then just drew for the turn and passed.
Agree. Also, he just used a negate.
Yep.
And he thought about it. Like if Jason's hand was negate, he just would have snap negated anything.
Wait a minute, what's going on?
Well, I think they're figuring out what he should target.
Can he do it for, oh, he can do it for 5. Yep. So in this scenario, even if, well, if somehow he doesn't take any damage.
But it is in fact lethal. Paul Cheon wins his match. We actually show that Tom Martell won his match. So they somehow got 3 match wins there. And that's going to do it for round 3. Team on your right-hand side did not drop a game. And that was a bit of a rout.
You know what? That's the way it goes sometimes. You know, you just draw well and play even better, I guess.
Looks like our back table match is already finished as well. All right, that's going to do it, though, for round 3 here from Detroit.